Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. For both drops in this video, we will be in our Thanatos. It's the Thanatos 5S, complete with 2 Gauss rifles, some jump jets for mobility, and ECM for protection and sneakiness. We're also going to be talking about the top 5 reasons you want to have an effective sniper on your team. Now, I get it. I've seen all the comments out there on the forum boards and in game vilifying snipers because they're lone wolves. They leave the team behind. They're not sharing armor. They're not being a team player. They don't contribute to the overall success. And yada yada yada. All kinds of other unflattering comments. So today I'm here to tell you and show you why you want to have an effective sniper on your team. Now there's 2 points I want to make and get them out of the way right from the start. The first one is there is a huge difference between a sniper and a long-range weapons platform. They are definitely not the same thing. And number 2, this is even more important. Regardless of the mech you're in or the role you are playing, the end score does not always reflect a pilot's contribution during the match. So for our first drop, we are playing Conquest mode on Polar Highland. Out of our drop zone, I've moved off to the extreme left, and I'm looking to get into a flanking position on the enemy. I'm going to be marking targets of opportunity, calling them out to my teammates, getting them as much information on the enemy positions as possible, as well as engaging targets of opportunity. So our first contestant is the unfortunate Uziel. He is a dual Rack 5 build. Get some shots off on him, and hopefully you noticed that exchange, because now we're going to get into some intangibles that the sniper brings to the table. The Uziel was getting ready to peek right, spin up his racks, shoot my teammates in the 8. After getting shot, he not only pulled out of his firing position, he backed all the way off and circled around to his right. So I prevented damage on my teammates and also have delayed him participating in the match while he repositions. What that is worth is up for debate, but it is not reflected in any end scores that I know of. Now, pushing up onto the high ground, I want to get a better view of the battlefield, and here we have come across an enemy unit. I can't lock him up, so I know he's running ECM, and he looks like a Hellbringer. And to his credit, he quickly identifies where I'm shooting from and fires off his large lasers. I managed to get a couple more shots out there. I'm not necessarily looking to trade with him at this point. So I'm going to shift over here to the right side real quick. I'm going to see what the battlefield looks like on this side. And there is a Marauder down below us. Get a shot off on him. Shifting back over to the left-hand side, I want to keep an eye on the progress of the Hellbringer. And he is definitely circling around and looking to engage my current position. Now I'm also taking fire from my right side because I'm exposed up here on the high ground. So I'm going to drop down and engage the unit who is shooting me, and there he is. He is a Nightjeer. So we're going to go after him because I notice his center torso is open. Get a couple of shots out of him. And here's another one of those intangibles. So I'm currently being hunted by the Nightjeer and by the Hellbringer. That's 2 units that could be shooting the rest of my teammates. Nightjeer's down. Now it's only 1 unit because we just took out the Nightjeer. And spinning around, we see a Mad Cat that we quickly get a shot off on his exposed back. And the Hellbringer has pushed in to engage us at point blank. And it's Blackjack Jones. He's a very good pilot. That's why he reacted so quickly to being shot earlier. He knows his stuff. However, his mech was more heavily damaged than I realized. If I knew he was that damaged, I might have stayed up on the high ground and traded with him a couple more times to try and take him out. But that's okay. We still got the kill, and now we're after another ECM unit in the form of the Ice Ferret. So I'm going to lock him up, get shots on him, call out his position to my teammates, so they know where he's at. And as I'm pursuing him, I happen to notice there is an enemy unit, a Mad Cat right there, Mark II, an assault mech with his back to me, which is open. So we're going to pump around through his CT and take the kill on that as well. Continuing with our pursuit of the Ice Ferret, we'll lock him up again. CT. Call out his position to the teammates. We pretty much got this in the bag at this point, but this is all important information that my team needs to know.
25%. Fuel at 0%.
And now it's just a question of hunting down the last couple of enemy units. We're also quickly closing in on a cap victory as well. So I think this particular drop is pretty much in the bag. Now, switching over to our end score, and this is what we talked about before. There are 3 kills, 438 damage done. Moving over to our next drop, this one finds us playing domination mode on River City, and before I get flooded with all kinds of questions and comments, I am using post-production magic to enhance the video on this. Your zoom-in game will not do this, but I'm doing some work at extreme range, and I was hoping you could see this a little bit better. I'm engaging an enemy unit down in the water. It looked like he was trying to continue on his merry little way into the city and join some of his teammates. But as you can see here, after about the 3rd shot, he thinks better of it and pulls back more towards Gulf 6. And that's good for us because that's one less enemy in the city to worry about.
New target acquired.
From this vantage point, we have an excellent view of the battlefield below us. So now it becomes a question of spotting targets, locking targets, and adding fire support wherever possible, like on the enemy Highlander, who's engaging one of our units down in the city. Now he's moving in and around the buildings, and it is making it a bit difficult to thread the needle and land meaningful shots on his mech, but we're here for the fire support. And sometimes it doesn't always come together. Sometimes you just have to be patient, and good things come to those who wait. We're going to see an enemy mech enter bottom of the screen. Bravo Supernova is going after our friendly unit and has his back to us, so a second shot is able to finish off his mech, and that removes 100 tons of firepower from the board. So going back to what we talked about, the top 5 reasons you want to have an effective sniper on your team is, number 1, they should be able to provide you with excellent intel, whether they're locking up targets or at least calling them out and letting your team know where the enemy formations are, what direction they are moving. Number 2, enemy asset removal. Let's face it, kills are king. So if an enemy sniper can effectively remove combatants from the battlefield, that definitely helps your cause.
Target destroyed.
Number 3, an effective enemy sniper can provide area denial. We saw that earlier with the enemy down in the water who wanted to move into the city, and we denied him that open ground, forcing him to pull back in a direction he didn't really want to go. Number 4 is fire suppression. We've seen this time and time again, and we actually see a little bit of it in this video as well. Anytime there's an enemy unit shooting on friendly targets, if a sniper can start getting rounds on target, the enemy unit invariably pulls back to cover and stops firing. And the 5th reason you want to have an effective sniper on your team is formation disruption. By forcing the enemy to go in directions they don't want to go, or having the enemy expend resources trying to track down and isolate a sniper, will give your team the advantage. So those are 5 key reasons why you want to have an effective sniper on your team, and don't expect them to stay within the team cohesion. they may go off to get superior positions and angles on the enemy targets.
New target.
Feel free to leave your comments and thoughts below on the subject. I'm sure this will continue to be a topic of hot debate within the gaming community, but hopefully this video helps clarify the strengths this particular role brings to the team and why it is such an asset. Jumping back into this match, as you can see, we heavily damaged and actually managed to leg the Warhammer that was pushing across the airfield. Unfortunately, he's teamed up with a Wolfhound who was pushing our position earlier. I do have support in the form of my friendly Assault, but he is being focused by missiles from the outside, a sneaky, cheeky Wolfhound, and the highly damaged Warhammer who is hiding in cover. Let's see if we can help him out and remove this Wolfhound from the equation. We managed to land a great shot and kill that Wolfhound, and now I want to go hunt down the Warhammer. I believe he's still hiding in cover. He should be one shot through the CT, and I'm trusting my teammates to suppress the LRMs on the other side of the board. There is the Warhammer, as predicted, and a single shot to his CT brings his game to an end. One final unit on the other side of the board, the Mad Dog.
Target destroyed.
And this is going to eke out a win for my team. Switching over to the end score, we finish this match with 3 kills, 619 damage done.